In 1999, Capcom released Dino Crisis for the Sony PlayStation, focusing on Regina in the year of 2009, being that of a special operations soldier being tasked with investigating Ibis Island for why it has stopped all communications and disappearances of workers related to the island. Once there, Regina has to fight her way through a dinosaur-infested island to reveal the truth. Dino Crisis 2 was released in the year of 2000, again on the PlayStation, with Regina returning for another life or death struggle against dinosaurs. A Dino Stalker was released for the PlayStation 2 in 2002, which is now considered a spin-off to the original series, and a Dino Crisis 3, which was released for the PlayStation 2 as well in 2003. But both of these aren't related to the original two Dino Crisis games at all. These original two games are often considered fan favorites in the horror survival genre for early games in the mid to late 1990s because of the concept of a survival horror or a survival game in general against dinosaurs, which was unique and not done at all again by any other video game developer or publisher besides a few examples. The concept of Dino Crisis and its main character of Regina, even her name of Regina isn't that of her true name. It's a code name given to her by the storyline of the original two games. Much of her identity and personality or even history is not known, and there were never really any aspects to expound upon basic facts mentioned and described in the first two games. There's been theories as to explain why the Dino Crisis franchise has been abandoned by Capcom. When the original Dino Crisis game was released in 1999, Capcom actually released Resident Evil 3 in the same year. With the full success of the Resident Evil franchise, all consideration for the Dino Crisis franchise was eventually lost. Even though Dino Stalker and Dino Crisis 3 were developed by Capcom, even having the same developmental team as in the first two games, the sharp and drastic change in direction for the series marked an instant cancellation on future projects by Capcom. Others have mentioned that although there was an appeal to the series and Capcom might have developed the brand of Dino Crisis further with Regina possibly, as it was decided to the Resident Evil for casual gamers to really differentiate between the two series. Capcom eventually let the idea of Regina and Dino Crisis be forgotten, but nearly 20 years later, from 2014, 2016, and 2017, all had mixed reception from officials in Capcom debating if the Dino Crisis brand should be continued or otherwise rebooted. There have even been other examples of Regina being referenced in other video games. Even if the Dino Crisis series is rebooted and Regina returns for gamers of a whole new generation, the original feel and appeal or even visionary concept of Dino Crisis is gone, and all that remains would be a fresh new concept for the franchise. Sometimes a character can be forgotten and not much else can be done about it until a time later, if at all.